Hello, friends. Welcome to the crew. I'm Scott.
And I'm Simeon.
Glenn, thank you for producing.
Good thing.
And today we have so much crazy Nintendo news to talk about. I can't believe it's like every day. There's a new top stinking story. You know what I'm saying?
Every single day.
Yes. We have news to talk about.
We do indeed.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah! Oh!
We will get this, people. We will eventually get this. Okay.
Simeon,
Yes.
why don't you give an overview of the types of stories we're going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about companies that are making games for the Nintendo, for the Nintendo Switch that we're excited about.
Like Square Enix?
Like Square Enix.
Okay.
Who is, making games aggressively. They're ready to pump out some action on the Switch, a whole bunch.
They're not even ruling out any IPs. Everything's on the table.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
before we begin, I'd just like to say Sparkling Cyanide, one of our friends, is in the chat.
Hey,
friend.
welcome.
Very cool. Thanks for tuning in live. The more the merrier.
Yes.
Chime in there with your thoughts on the news today. The Square Enix sees that the momentum is strong on Switch, and they're aggressively supporting it. Do you think that means their programmers are like, click?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think what it means by they're aggressively doing it is that there are actually riots in the workplace because of these Switch games that they're making. No. This is really cool to see. I know Square Enix is one of those big names that people really look forward to seeing.
It is. Look at that.
Personally, I know a lot of what they put out is RPGs. Fantastic RPGs. World-renowned RPGs, but I don't play RPGs all that much, so...
Well, we gave Octopath Traveler a spin in a recent video on our channel, so check that out.
Indeed.
Now we're going to move on and to a similar story with Bandai Namco, who's working on 3 exclusive Switch games.
Yes, exclusivity by a third party. We do not see that very often.
We'll see. Sometimes, like a game is supposed to be exclusive, like Rayman Legends, and then it comes everywhere. But I do know that Bandai Namco and Nintendo are tight.
Yeah.
They're like this.
Because we have Pokken. Well, I don't know if I want to have any part of that.
Okay.
But I know that Pokken Tournament was great and is great. Now, have they released Pokken Tournament for Switch yet? Or is that still...
Yes.
We're still waiting for it.
And I have good news for you.
What is it?
I finally sold the Wii U version.
Yay!
So, TBC will be probably getting Pokken Tournament really soon. I would like to know if it's going on sale for Black Friday. That would be helpful.
That's true.
But, Glenn, can you think of any exclusive you would like to see on Switch? I mean, maybe one of these is a Smash Bros. Port, but do you have any other ideas?
Oh, gosh. Exclusives. Honestly, Nintendo exclusives typically are different from what we see, so I can't really name any franchises that I would
What about
see
Pac-Man?
have exclusive. Huh?
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were done. I don't have the best connection to Glenn,
Yes.
but what about Pac-Man?
About Pac-Man.
I'm not excited about Pac-Man anymore. Now Bandai Namco, are they the ones? I think Namco were the ones who did the Soul Calibur games, right?
And Tekken.
And Tekken. That's
You
right.
like
Tekken
that?
games have been pumping out. I'd like to see another Soul Cal.
Okay. How about Soul Cal Cross Tekken?
They still need to make... I can't remember if it was Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Still, I remember they announced that game probably about 10 years ago, and it still hasn't come out. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
We got some cool information out of an investor's Q&A where Kimishima is answering questions, and eSports came up. Esports is a growing industry. That's where gamers use their skills and they win medals and money like a real sport.
dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign.
Where a very small percentage of the gaming community actually make their parents proud. So,
Actually, they probably just make their parents face palm even more. Like, go! They prove me wrong!
I liked what Kimishima says, though. He's like, we're well aware how many people are interested in this. We've been engaging in various activities, and we've been thinking a lot about what kind of reward would make winners happy. So, and earlier, this has been part of our core thinking, and we intend to continue creating games along those lines. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you heard this, and maybe this was a week and a half ago or so that this came out, is the Olympic Committee has actually been in talks about accepting eSports into the Olympic Games, and there's two holdups. Is first, they want to be sure that the games support the Olympic values, which is
like not killing people and stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be maybe one of the more difficult ones.
Yeah,
and the other is there needs to be some sort of guidelines already in place, like a ruling body already in place. Like for baseball, there are international leagues that already conduct the things, whereas here we have, the FGC, the fighting game community, which is this ethereal thing where, you can join, just say you're a part of it.
Yeah.
But no unified governing body. I think that's what they're looking for. So Nintendo in the Olympics, could we see it? Things are coming together.
Glenn, when you come visit, you can stay over at, you can sleep right here on the TBC set, and then we're taking you to a Smash Bros. Tournament so that you, too, can be a part of eSports.
Hey, if you insist.
I do.
We do. We do indeed.
By the way, the chat pretty much exploded as soon as we started talking about the news.
Okay.
That's great. What
Catch us up.
Yes.
See, Conman RDW wants to see Kingdom Hearts on Switch, or at least I assume that's Ryan Van Leer wants to see 7 remake. Flapjack is talking about how a bunch of companies have come out either showing more support in the future or happy with the success they've had so far.
Yes,
but
good.
EA is still planning on holding off until 2000.
Yeah.
We don't need EA.
File EA. That's our official statement.
And asks why you think that is.
Because they're one of the worst companies alive. They're seriously rated right above Comcast, barely. They've had the worst company in the world award before.
Yes, I do remember hearing this several years back that EA was the worst.
But I think it's because they're quite money focused. And a lot of developers, they've had this game in mind that they've wanted to make since they were children. And they're so excited just to even break even and profit as a bonus.
Yeah.
But with EA, it's like, no, we need to identify the trends, target exactly what's going to make us the most money. They even came up with a new term for it. It's not like in-app purchases anymore or microtransactions. It's something like...
Buy our crap.
Yeah. BOCs. No, it's like ongoing iterative purchases or something like that.
It's so bad.
And it's true that Nintendo's platform doesn't support that yet the best.
There's some comments about that down.
Okay.
Let's see. Conman RDW wants to see Little Nightmares come to the Switch. I've heard good things about that game. It's kind of...
You cut out when you said it's kind of, and I'm like, I want to hear about it.
I've seen it, and it looks sort of like Limbo, at least in tone.
And what was the name of that game again?
Little Nightmares.
Okay.
Conman also thinks a new good Pac-Man game would be awesome.
All right.
Somebody's excited for Pac-Man. After the redesign happened, I lost all faith in Pac-Man. Not that I was a huge fan afterwards beforehand.
There's been one great game in the last decade or so, and it was Championship Edition.
Yes.
So.
And the arcade cabinet. Mm-hmm. The 4-player arcade cabinet I really like. Can't remember what it's called, though.
Mac TX thinks that EA wanted to do the loot box thing and is having trouble getting Nintendo.
I agree.
Brian Van Leer says that my connection is not great.
Oh no! We were hoping. The way you hear Glenn and the way we hear Glenn is different. Mm-hmm. We're hearing him through Scott's phone. You guys are hearing him through the computer. And we were hoping beyond all hope that you guys could hear Glenn better than we could. And we can catch most of what he says, but not everything. And
what do you say?
I don't know what this is.
What do you say we finish up this this segment, Glenn, while you maybe restart your computer or router or something like that, and then just bust back in when you're done?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
See you soon, Glenn. Thank you.
Bro. See ya. Give a hand for Glenn. Give a round of applause. Give some clapping emojis in the chat. And speaking of the chat, keep talking.
Yes.
We'll get to you. Now, more Q&A stuff featuring Kimishima. Nintendo's talking about they have their sights on hitting Wii level goals. And I was so skeptical of that at first, but I believe they can do it.
I think they can too.
They have executed their short-term plans perfectly, and they have medium and long-term plans in place, according to him, plus a contingency plan if the Switch fails. We have formulated both medium and long-term plans, but at the same time, we are also considering contingency plans in case those original plans do not come to fruition. So, that's interesting.
That is interesting. And to me, it's interesting because... and this is a fact that's known, is we can, we have these companies, is Microsoft going to die if the Xbox fails? Or not Microsoft necessarily, but, are these companies, if they produce something that's such a flop, will they get out of the industry? Will they, stop making video games altogether? With Nintendo, they have so much money that, they could produce multiple systems that flopped as much as the Wii U did and still stay in place, but they have a contingency plan if that happens, which tells me that they're really serious about this, which is crazy.
We're going to have to remember this interview in about 10 years. We can ask them what all that was about, because I don't think they're going to need the plan.
I don't think so
but
either.
It'll sure be interesting to look back and say, what were you guys going to do?
Yeah.
They're like, we were going to do the Wii U. So, I don't know.
The Wii U.
But Simeon, I know you're open to new work. I'm happy to inform you that you are welcome to apply to Grezzo. These are the people that remade Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask for 3DS. They are hiring HD experience devs.
Oh, that puts me right out of the runnings there.
Unreal Engine knowledge and Unity to work on a Legend game. Tongue in cheek, they're like, come. Let's make a Legend together.
It's going to be like Legendary Starfy or something. Right. I know that's HAL Laboratories.
But HD, bro. They're leaving the 3DS behind. And maybe we're getting the next Zelda remake on Switch.
That would be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That would be really, really cool. And, it might... We don't know if it's Legend of Zelda or not, but they're teasing it like it is.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel, Grezzo. Grezzo just sounds like a weird, anime anti-hero. Do you guys agree?
Sure.
Grezzo totally sounds like a character name.
Speaking of Zelda, I should say, we are getting that second round of DLC. Many of us have already paid for it because it was the expansion pass, and this is going to round out that DLC package. And since we haven't heard much about it, we're kind of wondering, is this looking into next year? Still planned for December. So, what do you know? The Champions Ballad. And this is going to add storyline content and a dungeon. So, personally, I also hope it adds 12 shrines that you can max out all your meters. But I didn't bust out of my house to go buy the amiibo for them. It's a little weird that the amiibo and the DLC didn't come out at the same time.
Yeah, that is a little strange.
But I'm guessing they wanted the amiibo sales for holiday, and the gameplay stuff's not quite ready yet. That's my guess. Or, I mean, you don't want to put it out the same time as Odyssey because people are busy.
That's
perhaps.
true.
Simeon,
yes.
Tell me about this last news story. That's kind of awesome.
This is pretty crazy. The Pokemon anime is airing its 1000th episode.
Holy smokes.
Which is insane. And I believe it's coming up on its 20th anniversary next year. I'm pretty sure. What?
Fob idea. They had an audio ad playing loudly.
Angus beef.
So, 1,000 episodes. We used to watch this show.
Yes, we did. I watched it faithfully for pretty much most of the whole first season, which goes beyond what's on Netflix as the first season. I watched it pretty faithfully up until like the Orange Islands started, and a little bit past then, and then just like slowly stopped watching it.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit, past that, but most of the last 10 years, I really haven't seen anything. But this is really cool.
Yep.
1,000 episodes. If you want to catch up on Pokemon now, it's going to take some doing.
Ryan says, don't get my hopes up for a new Starfy.
Yeah, that's right. He recommended the Legendary Starfy last week on Ryan Recommends. And so I don't want to get your hopes up. I just don't want to get my hopes up either. Right. We don't know. We don't know what it is that Grezzo, the evil anime villain, is up to.
Yeah. Guys, there's so much Nintendo news. It's just ramping up and up as the Switch sells more and more. It's a very exciting time to be alive.
Indeed.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the crew.
Don't forget to... Oh, what am I doing?
How can you ask them not to forget if you forget every time?
Don't forget to comment in the chat section right now if you're watching us live. And if you're watching the replay back, please feel free to leave a comment. We see those.
My grandma died and I miss my grandma, says Mr. Binkles. Well, you know what? I'm really glad you found us because there's a lot of happiness, fun, and encouragement on our channel. And people in the chat are saying sorry for your loss.
We do as
well. We are as well. The crew, we're here for you.
Yes, we are.
See you guys next time.
Signing out.